welcome to the new year, Matt.
Welcome to the Gamers 2 Experience, brought to you by...
Broma Seltzer.
It's a new year.
It is.
It's not a new me. I wish it was a new me. I need a new body.
It's not a new me. I need a new body as well. I'm starting to work on it a little bit. We'll see how long I keep going, though.
I am not starting to work on it a little bit. So we'll see how long it lasts.
I just set back my first workout with a pizza and Crunch Bar tonight, so,
I did have this, naturally, it's my turn to do food, and I'm like, I'm lazy. So I was like, I really should do something, but I don't want to, so I'm just going to, order food. And then, I had this, I'm like, you know what? I feel like we should do something healthy. And I was like, but that's, more work. So...
I like that you're like, it's more work, but you've brought core here before.
I did, but you didn't like it. You weren't a fan of core. So, I don't eat core anymore.
Oh, all right. Well,
because I talked to someone who used to work there, and I am no longer.
Fair enough. It was one of those where it wasn't terrible, but it did things to my body for the next 2 days.
Yeah, it's I'm finding more than, I don't want to say more than anything else, because there's definitely issues with the body, but I don't adjust to food as I feel like a dog. How
you switch a dog's diet. And
and it's like it throws them all off. They're shitting weird. That's me.
I'm out here. I'm shitting weird.
So I don't know. I gotta.
Well, you wait to see what I have in store for you next week then. Kale.
Kale. I don't have I had kale? I think I have.
I haven't. People were having kale chips at one point.
The kale craze was a little crazy.
I mean, craze is almost an understatement. It's almost as bad as avocados.
Yes, which is another thing. Which
I'm not doing that either.
The thing now that's the craze is, to me, the keto diet.
I think keto was bigger a little bit like
last year.
The beginning of last year, end of the year before, and it's kind of started to die down again. It had its flare up over a couple months, and now there are people that still do it, but it's just not as prominent in being talked about.
For sure.
It's not the veganism or vegetarians or whatever when you don't ask and they're like, "Did you know I'm a vegetarian?" And I'm like, "That I don't care. Don't care." Anyway,
the keto thing I could probably get behind trying, because the food that you can eat with a keto diet is shit that I normally eat. So I think it's more of just cutting out specifics, and then
sugars are gone.
Yeah, which is kind of a big thing, but
I love me gummies, so
I've lost my sweet tooth, probably because of you. It's probably largely due to you.
Well, here's the good news: we can try keto for a month. Okay. Here's the bad news: a lot of fats. We're just gonna do BLTs all the time.
I don't hear a downside here. Because I would eat BLTs.
Nothing but bacon and eggs.
My brother, every time my brother comes into my house, man, it smells like bacon in here. And I'm like, I eat a lot of bacon.
You should go, oh, I know. Maybe I'll try. I have ideas for things we can do. There's a couple things I've been meaning to try, but never my making of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely things.
People make them.
There's definitely things I want to do. I'm bad at planning ahead. So I don't.
Oh, I'm terrible at planning ahead, but a lot of it won't even be me planning ahead as much as it'll be me just being like, all right, so it's my Friday off, which means I'm cooking. I'll go see what Matt's up to at Target while I figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. And then just shop.
Anyways, what are we supposed to be doing?
Yeah. So remember how you introduced this as the Gamers 2 Experience?
Yeah.
That might be more act to most of what we do.
We might be onto something there.
Yeah. The Gamers 2 You don't just listen to us. You experience it. You experience us as though you came up to us when we used to work together and we would just be talking away, sorting movies. And you just walk by and you're like, I don't want to listen this close. So I'm going to go 2 aisles over and kind of listen and then walk away.
I wonder how many times that's happened. Probably a few.
Probably more with our coworkers than with other people, especially if we were in the stockroom, because those conversations would be terrible.
Yeah, they're not
Once you're
listener friendly.
yeah, once you're no longer in view of customers and they can't hear you, it's not even bad. Like, it's not even that we talked bad about the customers, because we did that, but it wasn't that. It was more the filter goes away.
Yeah,
And it just
naturally.
becomes chaos.
Naturally.
Anyway, so what are we actually doing?
Gamers 2 podcasts for the new year, which is it's January 3rd, 2020. We're in the 20s.
We made it.
We did make it. So, all right, where do you stand? Since you are a Yankees fan,
And I am standing.
where do you stand on the end of the decade?
It happens.
Okay.
I mean, technically, if you're a Yankee fan, it doesn't happen, but it
yeah,
happens.
it's at the end of this coming year. It's the end of the decade for Yankees fans.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If I am to view it in the sense that I want to view it, this decade is not over until the new year, and then it's not over until the year before that, because a decade is only 10 years. It's just I am allowed to move the window where I want.
Yeah. All right.
Because technically, the end of the decade I could have said was 09 to 19. Then you'd be like, that's 11 years. I'm like, damn it, you got me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Max. Doing Max things.
Doing Max things. But yeah, so podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
So what have you been doing the last 7 days? What'd you do last year?
Let's see what you did
get
there.
it? You get it? Because it's like New Year's jokes, and I'm pretty sure every person that has a podcast, radio show, or anything else did the same thing.
Yep, just like the end of the decade thing.
Except
the
they-
end of the decade.
except they did it-
It's the end of the year.
They
See you
did
next year.
on the first.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you guys since last year.
I
Said everybody at their New Year's Eve party that I would just punch in the face if I was at one.
exactly didn't go. Pro tip:
Don't go.
don't go. I sat home New Year's. I sat home in my PJs.
I almost texted you on New Year's and been like, "You want to play Wolfenstein?"
Drinking. Yeah, I probably would have. What did we do? I think we watched The Witcher, and then we drank champagne, a bottle of champagne.
I slept for 2 hours when I got home from work, which screwed me into staying up till 3 a.m. I finished. I never. What have you? So yeah, so that's what you did.
Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't. I have done nothing exciting this week. No video games. Finished The Witcher.
No new year, no new Matt.
I got the floor in the bathroom.
Okay.
Got the toilet in.
Oh, bigger than the flooring as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Which it's probably going to have to come out again and then probably come out again. So,
So you have to put in and take out the toilet 3 times.
well, I put it in. So the issue for
we don't need to
backstory,
have. We don't need to have a whole discussion about that.
Cliff
We
notes.
got stuff to get to, but
Cliff Notes. My house was built in 1840. Nothing is level anymore. We put in new LVP flooring, the luxury vinyl stuff
yeah,
that clips into each other.
clip.
Yep. Went fantastic. Great experience. Highly suggest it.
I've thought about it,
Yeah, really easy.
but I have to find a room that I feel like doing because I think I'm just going to recarpet there. We're not talking about redoing our
We're not.
houses. This is not the house.
Well, your
Gamers 2 house
kitchen.
renovation.
your kitchen
I got to redo the floor then. It's not level.
because of the we'll
Because
talk
of
about
the beam.
there. Yeah, but that's an easy fix.
We're not. We're not talking.
That's an easy fix. So
Wait till Todd's here and we're just like all 3 of us are in the house. Like we can just do this all right now. Let's just go to Lowe's. Let's go to Lowe's right now.
exactly.
We'll come back and both your wives will be like, "What the hell?" And I'll be like, "I don't know. For some reason, they want to work on my house. I don't know."
So everyone's house is easier. That's why
Well,
everyone
yeah.
else's house is easier.
No.
So
You just don't want to shit where you eat.
exactly. So the floor went in. We reorientated the toilet 90 degrees. Turned the toilet 90
Yep.
degrees. Had to replace the flange. Bought the new toilet. Put the new toilet in. But since the floor is not level, the toilet needed to be level.
Right.
Whole bag of potatoes there.
Shim.
Yeah, but
Can you shim a toilet?
you can. They make toilet shims, which I also suggest using because they're great. But the problem is it's out of level by a significant amount. Like we're
Oh.
talking like half an inch.
It's like 2 shims.
So stacking shims. So I got it.
Let's stack these shims up.
Because
I'll put some shims on your shims.
exactly, because it's so unlevel, I didn't use a wax ring because you have to once you see a wax ring, you can't move it again.
Okay.
So I used the synthetic ring, but long story short, the synthetic ring is not cutting it. It's not leaking liquids. It's leaking smells from because our
sealed.
Yeah, our sewage pipe is straight up and down. So like everything just comes through the second floor toilet. So we got to revisit that. And that's where I'm at life, basically. I mean, got the clawfoot tub downstairs. We bought a shower for it, like the shower attachment.
Right.
Which I was hesitant about.
Because I thought that was going upstairs.
It is going upstairs, but because we took the shower out upstairs, we
Right.
needed something downstairs to use temporarily.
Okay.
So we bought a cheap shower attachment, cheap faucet for the clawfoot tub because it was just the faucet, not the shower.
Right. Yep.
Surprisingly nice experience because the shower heads works. It's great. The cast iron tub dampens so much fucking noise that it's like a really quiet shower experience, and it's bizarre as fuck.
That'd be weird to me a little bit.
It was at first, but I'm like, this is really soothing. Like this is really peaceful. Like so,
I just want a tub I can lay in, man.
We've had the clawfoot and Samantha's taken baths in it, but I've never done it. So
yeah, but I'm taller than both of you.
that's true. You wouldn't be able to stretch out.
Actually, like I can sit kind of in mine, but I can't do. I look like The Witcher, but not sexy. Does that make sense?
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. You could.
I want to be up to here.
That's what I was.
I want to be up to my neck.
You could be comfortable in the tub, but you'd be Witcher stature.
Yeah.
You'd have your shoulders out. Your arms would be on the side.
And
of
if
the tub.
I looked half as good as Henry Cavill, I wouldn't mind.
So it might be up to like your diaphragm.
Yeah, like I said, half as good as Henry. I wouldn't mind.
Full submerge though is not happening unless you get a really expensive tub.
Yeah, no, I need to get like a full soaking tub or like a hot tub type thing and be like, all right, cool. Then I disappear. But I don't want to take tubs that often for that, so that's take tubs.
That's why.
Yeah, I take tubs. Fucking baths, man. Oh god.
The only other thing I did is I started a new anime, but it's about basketball. Basketball.
Basketball is a different movie.
It is basketball. It's about.
Oh, all right.
It's not as good as
I can explain basketball to you, but not to the depth that I can explain baseball to you.
It's not as good as the other sports animes I have watched or watching. So it's a different. The team is really rough around the edges. They're all a bunch of like kids who got in fights and they go to this they go to this shitty school and they're kind of on the basketball team because they have to be. But then the little kid shows up who's short and shouldn't be playing basketball and he fires everyone up and so essentially it's the same story as all the other sports Japanese animes.
Yeah,
but
I just don't think it's as good as with the baseball one, where the baseball one, you can be really good at certain things and be, the pitcher story.
True. I mean, they play into that with the basketball one.
I'm sure they do, but
it's actually called. It translates to soaring duck or sky duck or
the Mighty Ducks,
something like that. And
ducks
the whole thing,
ducks fly together.
The whole thing is like the kid's short and he's fast, so he like ducks in,
Oh, that type of ducking.
Yeah.
Don't get hit by the I-beam type ducking.
Yeah. That's where life is at right now. I've been agonizing over computer upgrades.
As is the usual.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's par for the course.
I don't know. And now that CES is coming up.
Ooh, yep. Now every Matt's computer upgrade just got delayed 3 months.
Exactly. And Intel is starting to, there's been rumors and leaks that they have some shit to compete with AMD. So now I got to wait.
Everything's churning.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll
see in 2 months when we do our CES episode.
Anyways,
a month.
What about you?
I've been playing the Luigi's Mansion. I've been playing some more Death Stranding.
I forgot you were playing Death Stranding.
Playing is a weird word. Experiencing Death Stranding is probably more accurate. Just the same way you do this podcast.
changes your life.
It does. Oh, it 100% changes people's
Not
lives.
necessarily for the better.
I didn't say it was good. I just said changes. It doesn't even change your life. It changes you. You become a different person after listening to us. Yeah. Yep. So that Football Manager a little bit, but it's been played some Worms. Todd was up. We played some Worms.
The old classic.
Switch. On the Switch. Whew, that's it is weird playing with those Joy-Cons. Tried to play some classic games on the SNES services and stuff. Holy shit! We couldn't. We tried to play Overcooked on the Switch with just the Joy-Cons for each. For like me playing with one Joy-Con, him playing with the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we couldn't do it. It just wasn't as fluid as you want it to be. But yeah, that's really been it. It's been still coming back off of vacation and work, and then another holiday immediately, and just hasn't really been too much in the way of playing things. I dabbled in touching buttons on a glowy pad.
Yeah. I mean,
I haven't done anything with it other than plugged it in, looked at it, and was like, all right, cool. So how's this work? And I pressed a couple buttons, and I was like, all right, cool. Yep. I got to spend more time with it. Because I was like, all right, I think I understand, but I don't. I understand a base.
mm-hmm.
Very basement level understanding of it. Oh, excuse me. And then, yeah, just, it's holiday cleanup time. I don't know how many boxes downstairs that need to get cut up and recycled. I have been out in the garage a little bit, and I'm like, I got to clean more of this. But I'm not ready to clean the garage. It's cold. It's a thing.
Yeah.
But I can't wait till the sun, and then it's too hot, and it's just, I got to get that happy medium time. And it's not really, I don't have to clean that much. It's just, I need to reorganize some things.
Yeah.
I need to clean the studio, really, is what needs to happen. The studio needs to get cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
Because the
It's
HeroClix playing that's happening there are just boxes everywhere and garbage. I just got to spend 2 hours maybe and just run through the studio, just like recycle, garbage, and clean that. That's a whole other shenanigan. Still reading the baseball book to do new stat breakdowns. Finished Man in the High Castle.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
Satisfied?
Yeah. Kind of not really. I mean, it ends.
Happy ending?
It's an ending.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if it's really happy. I kind of, I finished it, everything leading up to it, and then it ends, and I was just kind of like, all right, I guess that's the ending. Okay. Didn't make me feel one way or the other. Like, I wasn't, disappointed. I was just kind of like, okay, I guess that's the ending. I guess if you looked at it from, me really liking it to then that being the ending, I was disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But I also didn't want them to just drag out the show for the sake of dragging it out. But I still think they could have potentially wrapped it up better. I don't know. Maybe they needed to have another half season, another couple episodes to really do some stuff. I don't know.
TV shows are hard.
They're everything was really good, and then just right towards the end, the last 20 minutes, maybe I was just kind of like, all right, I guess last 20, maybe last 10 minutes even.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas yeah, we had really good 4 seasons, and then just these last 10 minutes isn't throwing it all away and ruining it. It was just kind of I would have liked a bigger payoff, but it doesn't upset me about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get as heated discussing about Man of the High Castle as I am Star Wars or other things. I think that's it. Card collecting is still happening, albeit extremely minimal.
Listen, you got a plan.
I do have a plan.
That's the best thing to have with these things, so it doesn't get out of control.
I am the man with the plan. It is a plan of smallness and correctness.
Yeah.
Not free balling it.
Yeah, exactly. Can't just go willy-nilly whipping baseball cards around.
Yeah, who do I think I am? Gambit?
I'm trying to think of French Gambit thing to say, but he's
Is he French?
no, he's
I think in one movie they made him Southern.
yeah, he is. He's the hell is it called? Cajun.
Oh, Bayous.
Yes.
Louis
So it's like French. Yeah.
Bordeaux.
Yeah. Sounds good. It all sounds good.
Merlot.
I think that's the idea, right?
Bongiorno?
I don't know.
That's
I'm not
Italian.
like comic book nerd, so
I'm not an X-Men comic book nerd. I just wish Gambit had been done better than the one movie he shows up in.
for like a minute.
Barely. Same thing with original Deadpool, but happy he got his return.
Ooh.
Merc with a mouth, don't say anything. All right, sure, that makes sense.
Comeback of the decade.
Sure.
I don't know. All right, I'm throwing shit at the wall. I'm seeing what sticks.
This whole experience is throwing shit at the wall. I'm calling it an experience now. I'm not renaming the podcast, but I'm calling it an experience.
That'll be a joke. That's not the name, but that's what we call it.
That's true. It's like the Tiberius method. That is a reference nobody's going to get. Not even Matt. So yeah, that's been that. There are no new releases, so I don't have a way to transition.
All right, straight into the news. The newness for the new year.
New.
The news is rather dry this week.
News or noose?
Both.
Is a dry noose worse than a wet noose?
I mean, really only one thing happened worth talking about this week, but we've stretched it out to 8 things.
I can talk about Death Stranding.
Um,
I don't need to, though. We don't need to do that. I don't need to talk about how you just walk and...
Is it really just a walking simulator? Or is that like...
Those are the two biggest, most like that I've done so far. Walk to a cutscene, walk to a cutscene.
Okay. Combat? No?
So I walked to a cutscene.
Okay.
I put up a ladder on my way.
Oh, wow.
And then at one point I rappelled down a mountain.
That's pretty cool.
When I say rappelled down a mountain, I mean I stuck a stake in the ground and then just walked backwards off the mountain. And then I got down to the bottom of the mountain and I said, let go of the rope. And then I continued walking.
You know what's like the worst thing ever is when you get those like pimples that are forming on like someplace in your nose to where your nose is just really sensitive to the touch and it like hurts, kind of aches.
Yeah.
When you move your face.
Yep.
That's where I'm
100%.
at.
No,
that's where I'm at in life right now.
Right now, I got a little something right here. It's just like
it's just driving me nuts, and it's not helping.
Did not mean to flick myself in the face right
that
there.
Probably felt great.
Here, let me just act out this moment as I don't mean to whack flick myself in the eye.
All right, I guess we should talk about.
We should probably talk about gaming news. You guys wanted to hear gaming news, right? That's why you're here. No, probably not. All right.
So your options are you can either go first and talk about.
I feel like I should go first because
digital sales,
and I've seen what number 2 is.
That's
number 2 is going to anger me if I read it, so I think I should just listen.
That's what I figured. So
I'll take number 1.
All right, it's still shitty sales numbers, but it's not MPD numbers.
If it's shitty sale numbers, is it that? Oh my god, the Nintendo Switch was the best selling console over Christmas? Is that article in here?
No,
because I'll break your hands.
No, it's basically the first one. Spoilers. The first one is just this is digital sales for games for the year of 2019.
All right. Listen, some wrap-up numbers at the beginning of the new year I'm okay with, for the most part.
Okay.
I'll discuss why I probably hate them later.
All right, that's fine.
If they are aggregated the way that I think they might be,
so yes,
I'll be angry.
It's frustrating before we get started.
Okay.
It is frustrating because I started to look at... I thought it would be nice. Let's look at some sales figures for the year.
Right.
These motherfuckers need to get their shit together with their digital sales, their physical sales, their dick sales, their fucking whatever. Like, put it all in one spot. Because you can't,
So the discussion about how I'm the agent if I worked for yada yada, and I would just be like, I don't care anymore. What do you want to know?
Yeah.
It's very much the same thing where I want Matt in a corporate sales room where they're like, all right, so we got to report our numbers. And he's like, just one spot. Put them all right there. Why is this hard? One whole thing. Dicks, games, more dicks.
Well, it just doesn't it's needlessly complicated.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of how they always are. Anyway, starting with number 1 and the complication that is. The games industry generated an impressive $120 billion with its digital content last year. which is more than any other year to date. And hey, in case you're wondering how that stat runs, and Nate's already annoyed, it's going to go up next year.
Listen, these motherfuckers, this is how they play it, man. They're like, hey, look at this big number. Look at how big my number is.
Hey, you want to take a guess? My number was smaller last year, and now it's bigger this year. What? The internet was... my number was really tiny in 1986, but in 2019, it's massive. What do you mean the internet wasn't vitally... Shut up. Anyway. The $120 million billion figure, $120 billion, the figure comes from SuperData's newly released 2019 year-in review report, which reveals the games and interactive media industry... What? Which reveals that the games and interactive media industry grew by 4% when compared to 2018. Within the digital games segment, mobile, unsurprisingly, generated the most revenue at $64.4 billion, which is over half of the number that we just mentioned, followed by PC at $29.6 billion and console at $15.4 billion. The grand total is reached by factoring in the $6.5 billion generated by gaming video content across the likes of Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, and Facebook, plus the $6.3 billion from XR, which encompasses augmented, mixed, and virtual reality. VR is what that was supposed to be, I believe. Or no?
It's all of them.
Oh, okay.
It's augmented. They're just breaking
it just
down.
Cross reality? What's XR, though, I mean?
Cross reality, I guess.
Okay, all right.
Sounds good.
You're welcome to it. The highest earning title in 2019 was, you guessed it, Fortnite for the second year in a row, generating $1.8 billion. And the biggest premium game was FIFA 19 with revenues of $786 million.
And no, I don't know what the qualifier is for premium game.
I assume not free.
Oh, like premium content.
Yeah. Or like,
Paid
because
content.
it says the highest earning title is Fortnite and the biggest premium game is FIFA. So immediately the only two distinctions I can see is free to play and not free to play. So
sounds good. I like it. You got any comments on that? Other than it's annoying.
It all makes sense. Mobile being more than half makes sense, then followed by PC, console, all makes sense. Money generated by those things makes sense.
The $6.3 billion from
augmented, mixed, and virtual reality is a little surprising.
Yeah, it seems high.
Yeah,
to me.
Does. I would have taken half of that and added it onto the YouTube thing and said YouTube at 9 and them at 3.
Yeah,
but hey, maybe it is growing.
I forget too that there's a whole like corporate side, like a whole enterprise side to
of VR and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's pretty healthy. So
healthy for what it is.
Yeah, considering how not unhealthy, but how small the consumer side.
But
is.
I continue to hate, and I can't state enough, the first sentence.
Yeah,
the games industry generated an impressive $120 billion with its digital content last year, more than any other year to date.
No shit.
Yeah, like why? I mean, I get, once again, we talk about it every time. It's PR speak. But don't talk to your audience like they're idiots. Now, here's the thing. They're not talking to us. They're talking to shareholders who are idiots. So, makes sense.
We're in the corner fapping at the big number.
Yeah, they said 120 billion and they stopped listening.
Yep.
And then somebody went bigger than ever and they went, oh.
So next up, we have MPD numbers. Not a lot of them. Not really numbers either, just rankings. We'll say rankings.
If you're
MPD
new,
rankings.
If you're new, it's a new episode, new year. You know.
Yeah.
I notoriously hate the NPD for the majority of certain times of the year. I have a lot of problems, not necessarily with the MPD, because the MPD does agree. I don't have the problems with them specifically. I have the problems when Matt pulls in the stats, and the stats are written in such a way where they're like, oh, could you believe in September of 2019 the Switch was the best-selling console? Yeah, I could, because guess what? The PS5 and Xbox One 2 just got announced. So why the hell do I give a shit? Nobody's buying those anymore.
Xbox One too. I love it.
I don't think it was Series X at that time.
No, it was whatever. Xbox, whatever the fuck.
Because then Phil Spencer went on the quote of saying, the name of the new Xbox will explain exactly what it is. And they went Series X. And I don't think anybody read the quote and then went, I know exactly what you are. Clearly it's xCloud, but still.
Mm-hmm.
What? It'll
Who
explain
knows?
exactly what we meant to do. Xbox Toaster.
All right, so according to the MPD, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is number 1.
Are you really going to read it that way? Hold on, is that how you wrote the article?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Sorry.
It's number 1.
I thought you just read it according to the MPD, and then because mine was turned, so all I saw was the number 1.
Oh.
And I thought you just were going to start there, and I was like, oh, that's terrible.
It's number 1. Well, it's number 1 for the month. And I think they broke it down by weeks because they say the third consecutive week, which they might have meant to say, no, because it wasn't out that long, was it? When did it come out?
October.
Oh, so maybe it is the third consecutive month. Maybe. Doesn't really matter. So for the month, Modern Warfare is number 1, FIFA's number 2, Fallen Order is number 3.
Oh, this is just the month?
This is the month.
Okay.
Mario Kart is number 4, which is kind of interesting. And then Luigi's Mansion is number 5.
For the month of December.
November, actually.
The month of... Oh, God, Matt, we're 2 months past that, bud. We got to move on.
Listen, we don't get the December numbers until like next week, which is the problem here.
Okay,
so we're going to blow past that.
so
We're going to
real
go to
quick.
the year. How about the year?
Let's just ignore anything you just heard. Forget it. Except for the part, stop listening right after I stop talking about hating the MPD and start listening right now.
So for the year, the top 10 for physical sales.
Of course, because we already talked about how digital made $120 billion. Good luck figuring out whichever one of these numbers was in there, though.
Number 10 is the one that shocked me, by the way.
Especially for physical sales.
Anthem. Number 10, Anthem. Think about that.
For physical sales, which shocks me. Once again, everybody knew it was hot garbage. Why did you buy it physically?
And more
EA
people bought it
access.
digitally.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind even more. All right, so 9 is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is actually really impressive.
Is it?
For a new IP, story-driven game.
Yeah, but I think when we look at what's above it, I don't think 9's that impressive. It beat Anthem. Or what are we saying?
Yeah, but it also, like... I don't know. We'll revisit that in a second. Number 8 is Smash Ultimate.
Which makes sense, having released in December. Its true sales took off right around Christmas and into New Year with gift cards and everything, and then trickle-down effect. Plus DLC starts coming out, and there's
and then more Switch sales. And 7 is The Division 2.
Now that's impressive to me.
I don't see... Not as impressive to me.
That The Division beats Smash Bros.
How many... Well, first off...
Physically.
First off, The Division's on more consoles.
Yeah.
And
So are you saying Smash Bros. Is more impressive?
I mean...
By the logic that Star Wars is on multiple consoles.
Yes.
Okay. Want to make sure.
And it's like this wasn't a strong year for shooters.
It wasn't a strong year for shooters. I'll give you that.
And Division was good.
Division was a good game. And I think it had a lot of hype coming off of it, off of a lot of people missing out on 1. It had a lot of hype coming into it on 2. But for it to be number 7 on the year, once again, in what some of the things we're going to talk about here, still impresses me physically. I just something about, maybe it's just the physical ties.
I think there's a commentary to be made because it's physical sales.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at this list earlier, and granted we're halfway through the list, so
you know what? Let's get through the list, and then I want to you and I rearrange these, including digital. What do we think?
Okay. All right. So number 6 is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Which that's impressive, because that was another one that was. Oh no, that was February this year.
Yeah,
I thought that's right. They pushed it out of December into February. But that one's impressive only in the sense that you never heard anything about it.
No, it just kind of was there.
Yeah, and number 6, Anthem's number 10, and everybody hates it.
Number 5, Mortal Kombat 11.
Another one, completely silent, except that it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I just suck at fighting games, so.
Borderlands 3.
At 4 on a physical sales, I'm once again like, what?
See, I do. There's a trend here, I think.
Now, do you notice that? Yeah, there's a giant title missing off this list, and do you see how I'm confused? Kind
Yes.
of.
Madden NFL 20, NBA 2K20.
Which NBA 2K20 coming off? How many controversies have we talked about on this podcast? The last 2 years of NBA, and yet it's the number 2 physical selling game all year,
And then Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
which makes sense.
See, the commentary I think you could make is about the type of people that are buying physical games.
Yep, I would agree with that.
And what is missing, there's a couple things missing off this list, I
Yep.
think. So the first thing is these games. So when did Mortal Kombat come out?
Oh boy,
Are all these games released? No, they're not released
No.
this year.
Yes, except for Smash.
Anthem came out this year? February, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if this list
it
is...
came out and then they went, or no, right before it came out, they're like, "You guys want to play Apex? What about Anthem?"
I don't recall it specifying, but I wonder if this is a list for games that were released in...
No, because Smash Bros. Was released the year before.
True. So what's missing off the list? The two games that come to mind immediately for me: FIFA
Yep,
and GTA 5.
right. But GTA 5, I think, physically, once again, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's actually what caused me to have the thought that this is a commentary on people who are buying physical games because
Red Dead's not on there.
yeah,
You know, there's still a lot. So, all right, just using these 10, reorganize them digitally. Call of Duty's number 1.
yeah. Call of Duty I think is number 1 no matter what.
I think NBA's number 2 still. I think Smash moves to 3.
Okay,
My guess would be
because
because not many true Smash owners are going to want to carry around the cartridge.
yeah,
They're just going to download it to the Switch and be done with it.
I don't think Fallen Order is on this list at that point.
Fallen Order could have the same problem Anthem did though, because Anthem might not make the list either. I think Fallen Order probably sold better than Anthem.
I think Anthem sold better digital though, which is the problem.
I don't know that it did because was EA Access on PlayStation at that point?
No,
But it was for Fallen Order, right?
Yeah, but I know that didn't they say they had more than 50% of their sales digitally?
Maybe. But
I think Anthem stays on there just because, like, I remember EA being shocked at how well it sold, which is kind of like weird.
Yeah. So I think we still go Call of Duty NBA. I move Smash to 3. I keep Borderlands at 4. And I move Madden behind Borderlands. Because Borderlands did gangbusters on Epic. And then after that, it's probably kind of still the same. I don't know.
There's
if
some weird ones.
Fallen Order might fall. I mean, if we're adding things to the list, I think FIFA knocks off somebody. 100%.
FIFA definitely does because
It made $786 billion in digital.
on the UK charts, digital and physical, FIFA
Yeah.
fucking wrecked house.
100%. Yeah, it destroys.
And it's the same for everyone outside of the UK and the US.
GTA's digital sales alone would probably still be on this list.
In the Europe, Africa, Australia charts, FIFA was number 1 as well, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Resident Evil 2 might even make a shout onto this list, but I doubt it. Because I think they were only around like maybe 6 million copies. But yeah, I think the list shakes up a little bit. Not too drastically. I don't know. The list doesn't stand out to me and go, yeah, what a great year of games.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, we look at last year, and every time we think back to it, and we just jerk off 2018, and we're like, oh, Red Dead, and whatever the other game was that I always forget. God of War.
It's so funny because when we were closer to 2018, everyone was like, God of War, holy shit. And now that we're a year removed, everyone's Red Dead.
Yeah, it's still God of War, but every time the God of War was really good at like capturing you in the moment and getting through that. But every time I think back into Red Dead, I'm just like, if I could just forget
Yeah.
what I would love to play it again, or what I would love to watch someone who was like really into it play again. Because I can't watch some of the streamers. I can't watch play certain games like that because they're just like kind of really they're. I take them more seriously, almost like a book type of thing, where I can't deal with you running around looking like Woody from Toy Story. It messes with me. But if I was to have somebody sit down and like watching somebody play The Last of Us again, like, all right, let's do this. I'm gladly able to sit here and watch you play. And then I look at this year and I'm just kind of like, okay. I enjoyed The Division 2, don't get me wrong. I enjoy Smash Bros. I enjoyed Fallen Order, except for the ending. I slightly enjoyed Anthem, because I can see the mechanics and what they were going for, but just, know what they need to work on. Mortal Kombat looked great. Borderlands 3 was a lot of fun. Didn't play NBA. NFL was okay, but I don't get into it like some people do. And Call of Duty was good. But none of them, I'm like, at the moment, like 18, so our conversation in last year of, we know those are pinnacle games, and they will be used as reference points when we talk about them. We're still talking about them. Nothing on that list jumps out to me as, we're going to talk about this in a good light. We'll talk about some of those games in bad practices and bad examples of what to do.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that really we'll talk about going forward is probably Fallen Order, just because of the fact that it broke the trend with Star Wars games.
Fallen Order and Anthem.
Yeah.
Anthem we talked about because we're going to keep the updates going.
Yeah. Maybe, if they need to be.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll probably
hopefully, I guess.
We'll probably call them out if they pull a No Man's Sky thing, but that's really it. Number 3. Oh, man, we are really stretching for news. Number 3, WWE fans suffered more troubles with the latest video game over the holiday break, but 2K Games assures the issue has now been fixed. Reports emerged on the 1st that WWE 2K20 was crashing on Xbox One, PS4, and PC anytime players tried to load any of the main game modes. That's terrible. User complaints seem to suggest it was a Y2K style bug that caused the game to break if it detected the year had become 2020, with many complaining it had stopped working after midnight. This was backed up by Twitter user The Shining Down, who runs the WWE Supercard subreddit. I don't even know what that means. He claimed changing the system date back by 1 day resolved the issue. The 2K support Twitter account has since tweeted that the fix has been implemented, which can be accessed by restarting the game to automatically download the patch. My guess is that somebody didn't have 2020 in their SQL database.
Classic.
Those are the ones where you just hope that some boss was like, what do you mean it's breaking? It happened at midnight and then just turns. Frank! Get in here! Did you not fucking put 2020 in the game? You better go do that right now and get out of my office. I'm sorry to anybody named Frank that listens to this. Also, if I deafened your eardrums, that was like the first time I've yelled in a while.
That was loud. That was a lot louder than normal.
That's not even my full volume, and I've rarely used my full volume. Like if I was screaming bloody murder across our favorite store,
yeah,
you would hear me clear, I think.
I don't.
But I don't plan on ever doing that.
I clip in real life when I try to yell.
Do you?
So.
I will reach a point probably where I'll clip. But yeah, it's one of those where I hope I never have to yell like that.
So next up is the only story that's really worth talking about in this entire...
I like that we saved it for the middle of this.
In the entire show. So, Respawn Entertainment CEO Vince Zampella. Is that how you spell it? I feel like that's not how you say it.
Yeah. What do you just want to say? Zampaletta?
I don't know. I feel like it doesn't feel right. CEO Vince Zampella
has
taken on a new project leading Electronic Arts, EA, Dice's Los Angeles studio.
That is terrible.
That is terrible.
That name is awful.
That's it's
Electronic Arts is EA Dice Los Angeles studio.
yes, which actually, and since you mention it, in an interview with the LA Times, Zampella revealed his new role at Dice LA, which he will take on while remaining with Respawn Entertainment. Zampella described his position at Respawn as being that of a, quote, head coach now. Well, he's taking on the LA studio head role, as it's still referred to as EA Dice Studio. Zampella said it would likely undergo a rebranding, separating itself from Dice Stockholm as well as Respawn. There you go, Nate. Rebranding.
Vince, we think alike, man. We both saw the writing on the wall with Respawn. You, for some reason, thought Star Wars was good. I don't know, man. But we were in sync with rebranding of things. I still don't understand. If you rebrand this anything near what you named that Star Wars game, we got fighting words. Don't put colons in weird spots, man.
It's true for all formats of life.
That's true. Don't go shoving your colon.
Under Zampella's leadership, the LA studio is currently working on a new original game that has yet to be revealed.
Apex 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
So
I saw somewhere somebody didn't like the Electric Boogaloo thing. Not for us, just like in general. Like, why is every time somebody says 2, somebody's got to say Electric Boogaloo? And I'm like, deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. It's getting hot in this fleece.
Yeah, I came home. I wore a hoodie all day at work.
Mm-hmm.
I came home. I was like, too hot. Hoodie off.
Yeah.
Mind you, I do not keep my house hot.
No.
But I got home too hot.
Yeah.
It's too hot for these clothes.
New York doing weird weather things as per usual.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's January. There's no snow on the ground, and it was like 40 or 50 degrees today.
Yeah.
So
And I was just in a hoodie, hanging out. It seems, number 5. It seems the news about the next generation consoles from Sony and Microsoft is endless.
as it should be.
I disagree with the word endless. I also disagree with the fact that it should be.
Well, at this point, it's going to be endless. It's inevitable.
It's more inevitable than it is endless. Because at a certain point, it'll be the MPD. Did you guys know Microsoft's default color console is black? Will be some headline somewhere in about 3 weeks.
All right,
That's how lazy they're going to get.
I'll pull that when
having
it shows
to find like the new Xbox tall ? Like those will be the headlines that great think piece writers will be doing. Love those people. Give me something to talk about. It seems the news is endless, yada yada. On the last day of 2019, RIP 2019. A Twitter user who leaked previous console information said that Sony is expected to open pre-orders of the PlayStation 5 in the global market as early as March 2020, and corresponding to PlayStation 5, the true appearance of the new DualShock 5 controller will also be revealed in the first quarter of 2020. The same Twitter user also claimed that the PS5 would retail for $499 and launch on November 20th of this year.
You know,
You want my sweet hot take?
go for it. That's why it's in here for the hot take.
That all makes sense.
Yeah.
Nothing. Once again, I could have written that.
Yeah, that's all fair. I mean, it's fair.
It all
fair
makes
assessment.
sense. Pre-orders last time, I think you're going to have to,
You're right.
You're going to remember this either.
You're right.
Pre-orders for the 4 were in March last time too.
Yeah.
November 20th makes sense. I think it was November 15th last time. So it's within a week of the same time frame. It's the week before Black Friday. I won't be surprised if it's a week earlier than that to give it a 2-week window before Black Friday. Get the sales, then reload going into Black Friday. Both those make sense. The fact that yes, they're gonna debut the controller. Yeah, they're gonna debut the controller regardless of when they debut the console. Even if it's the same day, both March and first quarter are the same thing. So those all make sense. Like, I appreciate somebody putting it to paper what the majority of people would think was just true. We'll see it in the first half, the same way we did before. Pre-orders will go up right as it's happening or right after, and then we'll see in November because there's no way they're doing a September, October launch. No, they're doing a November launch, which will annoy everybody because there will be games that come out in September, October, and then they'll buy a new console. But they'll be like, "Don't worry, we're backwards compatible."
Mm-hmm. Which I feel like they're going to want to
Be early in the messaging.
Yeah, tell that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, so when they do the reveal, that whole thing will happen, and then all the messaging going forward for all the games that are coming out this year will be playable on the PS4 and PS5.
Which we were talking about this before we started recording, but another user, I can't remember, I don't know, someone who's leaked previous information and it's been credible has said that Sony, this is a little bit far-fetched because this would be outside of Sony's normal routine, but that they're going to talk about the PS5 at CES, which
would be really out of their routine.
Yeah. So
because they usually want to do their own show.
Yeah, which is the weird thing. So I'm assuming I think February, and I think they're going to do their own show. That's what
I think February with their own show. Welcome to Valentine's Day. Here's the PS5.
Yeah.
Sony
loves you.
Yeah, and that's their entire branding. Sony loves you. PS5s. The thing at CES, I would love for it to happen. I just don't think it's going to. Sony's got TVs and phones and 8K displays. They're going to try to sell. Like,
there's an interesting thing.
I can see
though.
them potentially doing something with the controller, like you said. It would just be really weird to do the controller unless you were also doing controller. You're like, this is the new PS5 controller. It also works with your phone and our cloud service, and our new phone is this. And they just like don't talk about it, or they're like, and you can also use it on your PC and stuff like that. Like, they just really embody the idea that it's not just the PS5 controller, but they're showing you the PS5 controller type of thing. You know what I mean?
What if we got a Sony PlayStation Vita phone?
What if you just got a Sony Bravia? No, not a Bravia. Sony Xperia, but it was just it played Vita games. Like Sony made like a digital store, not just on the Xperia.
Mm-hmm.
That was just Vita games.
Yeah, like it's just the Sony store with Vita games on it.
Yeah, they're like download the app that's Sony store. You can play on Android,
Xperia,
iOS,
or you can play it on our TVs. And,
yeah. Vita's not dead. Gio Corsi runs out on stage, elbow drops somebody. He's like, "What's up?" I'm back.
CES looking interesting this year.
CES is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like reading the news articles of all the home innovation stuff because smart home stuff is so entertaining that comes out of there. Look at this robotic toilet.
Speaking of, it didn't make the cut, but I'll mention it quickly. Razer. They do all sorts of crazy stuff.
They do.
Doing a bank.
Oh, all right.
They
interesting.
Some European country, I believe it's a European country, they are investing in opening a bank or something.
Huh. We'll see. Chroma Key Bank. Look at this sweet RGB bank.
Look at our RGB credit card. One of the earliest announcements made for the Wii U.
Oh, why? Why did we dive this far for news?
Was Metro Last Light. That release ended up being canceled in the end, but the first-person shooter IP may now finally be making an appearance on Nintendo's console with Metro Redux for Switch. Metro Redux was first rumored for Nintendo's platform after a listing popped up on a Portuguese retailer website. Then more significantly, the European Ratings Board, PEGI, just added in a rating in December.
18.
Exactly.
Love that.
It's better. Way better than whatever the fuck we have.
Wait, but nothing. It's nothing. It's just a letter and a number.
Yep.
Not anywhere near as fun. Sorry. Just
no, it's cool.
I hear PEGI and immediately.
PEGI 18. So PEGI rated Metro Redux on December 31st. Those two pages combined all but suggest that an announcement is imminent. Metro Redux bundles together Metro 2033, Metro Last Light, and there were technical and gameplay improvements, including enhanced animations, but it's unclear what exactly we can expect from a Switch version.
All right, so that was a lot of stuff just to get to the idea that Metro Redux is coming to Switch.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what I throw in this document, we could literally have one sentence for every news thing where it's just like, Metro Redux is coming to Switch.
It was... I mean, yes, I'm saying it's a lot to get there, but you started with Wii U. You could have started half.
I drew you in with the Wii U.
Did you draw me in or did you turn me off?
I mean, doesn't matter. I had your attention.
Sure.
All publicity is good publicity.
I heard Wii U and went, what? What is this 2020?
It was an adventure. You didn't know where we were going from there.
That's true. Sometimes it is about the journey.
Death Stranding.
Yeah. Who cares about the West Coast? Did they not put Exodus on Switch? They didn't, right?
I don't know.
So I guess that would be. I guess that would be the. Let's put these on first, and then see about putting Exodus on Switch. Also, I wonder if this is one of the games that the company was rumored to be. The company that did other ports was rumored to be doing other port. Sorry,
Bluepoint.
That's really annoying. The company that did like the Witcher stuff and whatever for the Switch was also rumored to be working on a bunch of other titles, porting a bunch of other titles too. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if this is one of the ones. Speaking of games potentially coming to Switch from the Wii U, I added that last part. Just coming to the Switch. Take this with a very large grain of salt. Oh my, damn it. But over the past couple of days, clues have cropped up pointing toward a Switch port of Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2020. A listing for Red Dead Redemption 2 for Switch recently popped up on a Spanish retailer, Instant Gaming. All right, so Portuguese and Spain are getting all the insights. Yeah, Portuguese. No, Portugal, you idiot.
No one cares.
Rude. The listing comes with a Switch box art image attached, so this wasn't just a case of somebody ticking the Switch button by accident. Somebody put at least a little time into this. That said, the text accompanying
There's some days where it's just we can't.
I can't read the word. Can you say the word?
I don't know. Now I'm fucked up.
Right. Accompanying.
Why is that such a hard word?
Because it sounds terrible. Why is a Y and an I next to each other?
Word.
It accompanies it. The text added the text. I can't say the word.
Well, you fucked me up because once you fucked it up,
I'm adding another N. Is that how you spell that? It's not red on my thing.
Oh, I don't know. All right, I don't know.
The text that's with the listing mentions the PC version of the game, so this isn't exactly hard evidence. Lending some credence to the notion of Red Dead Redemption 2 on Switch is the fact that an image for the Switch Pro controller has just been found in the game's code. Of course, this could just mean support for the Pro controller is coming to the PC version of Red Dead Redemption 2, and yet you can't help but wonder, can you, Matt? Can you wonder?
I don't.
Speaking of which, there seems to be another Nintendo Direct coming soon.
I mean, would you want to play?
No. And I would also tell people not to.
Yeah.
If they have the option. If that is your only way to play Red Dead, then yes, do it. But if you can get any other way to do it that way.
I'm concerned. Red Dead runs very poorly on PC.
Yeah, so we're just going to port it to Switch.
Yeah.
Well, it also runs very poorly on PC, but I don't know if it still does. I haven't heard the hubbub since it initially came out.
I believe it's smoother, but it doesn't. It runs like, you know how like The Witcher runs, like, I don't know,
terribly on a Switch because it runs fine on my PC.
Yeah, but you're still only getting like, 40, 50 frames, something like that.
Maybe I was around there. I don't know. It's been 4 years.
That's like what Red Dead is.
4 years on my old machine. 4 years on my 970.
You can't.
Excuse me. Sorry if you heard that. That did not taste good.
It's not well optimized is really the issue.
Well, yeah. PC. But we knew that was always going to be the case.
Speaking of shitty news stories, the Uncharted
this
movie...
podcast.
The Uncharted movie has lost another director.
Okay, that should hold on. You should really just say number 8 The Uncharted movie. Moving on. That alone is the joke.
The joke is, I think that I've written this. We've done this story like 3 times now.
I know this is too much to ask because 1, we don't have enough listeners, and 2, I would never wish this upon anybody or request it of anybody, especially our social media team. Can you go back and find how many times Matt has mentioned the Uncharted movie? Because I think it just starts from the beginning of our podcast to now, and it's never going to come out.
It's a meme. So anyways, the Uncharted movie lost another director, according to Deadline. Its release date has also been pushed back again.
Of course, yeah.
Deadline says Travis Knight, who most recently directed Transformers spinoff Bumblebee, had to drop from the Uncharted movie because of a scheduling conflict.
Oh, I'm sure.
The movie is set to star Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
I mean, at some point, maybe.
Holland, however, is also committed to playing Spider-Man in the next Marvel iteration of the series. Which
I bet he gets a scheduling conflict too.
He probably will, which will start shooting this summer. Deadline reports that Sony still plans to release the movie, but with a new director and later release date, which it was originally slated for December 18th of this year.
Yeah, so you guys just kind of want to push that. Can you click that link? You guys just want to push that. Push. Yeah, I mean, there's only one, yeah. Oh, I lied. There's 2. That's the only one I really wanted you to click, though. The other one's old, and I forgot to delete it. My bad. Don't mind us while I produce the podcast in the middle of doing the podcast. Is that a producer? Is that how that works? I don't know what a producer does.
I don't know. I don't know what anyone does anymore.
I
don't know what I do anymore.
What is my life? Who are you? Yeah, so that's the news.
Am I clicking on the choose from these games?
There's nothing to click on. It should just be like a picture of games. Then click choose from if there's no picture and see if that takes you to a picture of such games. And then you let me know. And then I'll give you the spiel about the deals. The Dealio deals. Doug Dimmadeals, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Ah, nice. Crash Nebula. I can only make so many Fairly Odd Parents references. You got the picture?
January 2020, choose from these games.
All right, perfect. So Humble Bundle switched. I don't know if we talked about it. I think we covered it
a little bit.
They switched from monthly to now what they call Humble Bundle Choice. And each month you get to choose up to 9 games. I believe there's a tiered pricing. For the more games you choose, the more money you end up paying. You get to keep them forever, and you get to support charity while you do it. But this January 2020, you get to choose from these 9 games.
There's some good ones on here. You got Shadow of War.
Which is good now that it's patched and the ending isn't DLC or isn't microtransaction.
Graveyard Keeper.
Fun time if you like burying bodies, managing a graveyard, and dealing with the dead.
Did you end up getting that one or no?
Yeah, I got like 5 to 10 hours in it.
Okay. 2 Point Hospital.
Fun time if you like simulations. It's a kind of quirky game. Cure people from lightheadedness, and they have a light bulb as their skull. It's like, haha, get it? Because lightheaded.
Yeah, I like it. Dirt Rally 2.0.
Solid game. Dirt Rally 2, I mean, that just came out. I mean, just is a loose definition of time, but...
Street Fighter 5.
All right.
Bad North.
Yep.
Trailmakers, which is looks like early access.
Okay.
Unrailed. Looks like some sort of train game.
Sounds like a train game. Choo choo.
Whisper of a Machine.
One machine. Yep. It whispers.
It whispers.
Hello.
Fighting Herds? Them's fighting. It's
fighting herds?
Yeah. Them's fighting herds. Does that sound familiar?
No. I just, as you were reading things, I was like, I think I can put it together, but.
Mages of Mistralia.
Pew pew.
And then.
That's what mages do, right?
Yeah.
That's their spell.
They do something.
I wish Harry Potter was that way. That would be so much better.
The last one.
You just picture him and Voldemort in the final scene, just pew 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 pew.
You're on to something.
You got to see the finger gun fight from Tales from the Borderlands. I'll show you.
Grip Combat Racing.
Combat racing.
Yes.
Interesting.
And that's it. That's your choices.
That's a lot of choices.
There's good shit in there. What I like about it is the game. There's a bunch of games on there that are clearly like, oh, that's cool, and then all the rest of them have interesting, like, box art. We'll say.
Ah, yes.
So I'm like, oh, I could experiment with that.
Intrigued. I'm intrigued by what you sell, Khajiit. I have coin. But there are other things, Matt, we must talk about. Because if you have PlayStation Plus, you're going to get these 2 games that I hope I'm correct about. Titanfall 2 and Monster Energy Supercross. I am correct on that. Okay. Monster Energy Supercross is probably that's the one that I've discussed from PAX Extravaganza 2 years ago when I went with Kenny. That was the most controller-intensive dirt bike game I've ever seen.
Yeah, like your front brake, rear brake, clutch, all that.
Clutch, gear shift, lean, all that.
Yeah.
I think he was hitting almost every button on the controller trying to do things. And I don't know if he was just bad or if that's what was supposed to happen. Not sure. Xbox Games with Gold. Here's the nightmare that is that. Styx Shards of Darkness, available on January 1st to the 31st on Xbox One. Batman the Telltale series, available January 16th to February 15th on Xbox One. Tekken 6, available January 1st to the 15th on Xbox One and Xbox 360. And Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, available January 16th to the 31st on Xbox One and 360.
The best game on that list.
Lego Star Wars is great. I have both games upstairs on the GameCube. Twitch Prime. You got Amazon Prime. You got Twitch Prime. And I'll tell you that every single time I do one of these deals. In case you forget, I'll let you know. Some of these games you can't get anymore. Because I think when I wrote this list, it was still combined with the December list. But I'm going to read all of them. Just so that way you either know what you missed out on because you didn't do it. And now what you can also get. And you get to pick, you get to find out. It's like a surprise. I'm going to tell you a bunch of options. You get to find out what you get.
Ruthless.
Twitch Prime, a normal lost phone. Enercute. Ape Out. Ape Out we know. A normal lost phone we know too, but Ape Out was the one where you're the gorilla. Obviously you're the ape.
Yeah.
Run around, bash people, do things. Dandara. Enter the Gungeon. Gato Roboto. I assume that means cat robot. Heave Ho. Kingdom New Lands. Splasher. And Witch Eye, which is 2 letters off from being The Witcher. So
it's got to be good.
Yeah, take it how you want. And that's it, Matt. That is the beginning of a new year.
That's it.
It's as simple as that.
Your torture is complete.
You have finished this part of the experience. Please tune in 7 days for your next session. Was that creepy? I hope so. Bye-bye.